How are you, sweetie?
Just kidding.
I'm just kidding you. You know that. Arguably the greatest diver of all time. His new video is called Looking to the Light, a visual diary. Greg Louganis. Yeah. Greg, pleasure to meet you. A comedy legend whose works include City of Angels, Tootsie, and MASH. He has a memoir called Laughing Matters. My friend Larry Gelbart. Hello, Mr. Honoree. How are you? And finally, she is a multi-talented actress, comedian, and the only performer who will be featured in every single event at this year's Aspen Comedy Festival, the delightfully ubiquitous Janeane Garofalo. Hello, you. Okay. Well, you greeted me like a 5-year-old.
I did?
Yes, you were like, hi. Okay. Well, I have something that'll get you mad. I just mentioned this Time Magazine event that took place, 75 years, okay? Sharon Stone was also there. She told a little joke. She said if a man's brain and a woman's brain were sold, the woman's would be cheaper because it was used.
Yes.
And I just think if you did it in reverse, if I told that joke about a woman, I would be kicked off this network in about 2 minutes.
Only the minorities can make jokes. The majority people can't kid about.
Is that right?
I mean, it's sort of a tip. You know, it's a gesture. Really, I mean, you can't do a white image award show.
Yeah.
I mean, there would be a black Academy Award show if they were allowed to make movies. But I think that's where the winners let the losers or perceived
But women
losers.
aren't a minority.
But no, but the thing is our culture is so slanted. Anyway, it's like what Spike Lee had once said, it's very difficult for a black person to be racist. Because no matter what, the odds are stacked against them. And,
I don't think women in blacks
Bill,
can really make the same... I'm sorry, you're right, you're right. Sorry, go ahead.
You're sexist.
Yeah.
I can't believe you. God.
You white sexist.
Yeah. I apologize. Go ahead.
Now I don't remember what I was going to say.
Just like a woman.
Everybody. It's not a sex thing. It's
No,
not a sex thing.
you were saying you were comparing women to blacks. That's what got me...
No, I was comparing
Because
it that a slanted culture makes it difficult for the quote-unquote oppressor to make the same joke that the oppressed can make and get away with.
So you think women are just as oppressed as blacks?
Oh, in a lot of ways, yes. Absolutely.
Really?
I disagree.
Absolutely. Have you ever watched television late at night? Like what you see on every channel?
Well,
like silk stockings and any kind of made-for-HBO late-night movie, or like women are just, or like TV shows like Hunter and Rerun. How many times can women like get assaulted?
But that doesn't give women a right to bash men, though. Nor, I mean, even if you go into race, I mean, if there is a minority that is legitimately being oppressed, we don't need to reduce ourselves to their level by bashing them.
I don't remember women being brought over here on ships.
Oh, wait a minute.
They were.
The feminists...
They were? Is that...
There was.
I think you're devil's advocate.
No,
I
I'm not.
Devil's advocate.
Oh, I never played devil's advocate.
Have you ever read... You're in television, you're in entertainment.
And I'm defending blacks in the whitest town in America right now. By
Or Larry, you know, every breakdown for every show.
Say that again, I'm sorry.
Like for breakdowns for shows, when you read the breakdowns for casting.
Right.
But all the women's parts are the thing it says, beautiful something. The guys' parts are like, interesting scientist or something like that. And so it's like, the women are objectified constantly on an everyday basis. On CNN today, they had a thing about heavier actresses paving the way. Do you know who they used? Kate Winslet and Drew Barrymore.
Wow.
It was on this morning on CNN. I'm so glad I brought that up.
Now?
They were saying that heavier female actresses are now being positive role models, and they used Kate Winslet.
So you're comparing weight stereotyping with slavery.
With being oppressed. Yes.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much the same thing.
Oh, stop. You are absolutely.
Yeah, I think,
You're not naive. You're being pretend naive now.
No, I'm not being pretend naive. I'm saying slavery, comparing that to breakdowns in a caste.
Slave to lookism, slave to the... It is a crime in this country to be a fat woman.
You know what the slaves actually did? They actually picked cotton and got beaten.
Stop it,
Really?
stop it.
And how you...
Women get two different issues.
But that was after the cruise.
Women get emotionally abusive all the time.
All right, we'll come back. We got to take a break.
Like free tickets to Politically Incorrect back in Hollywood. Call 213-852-2655.
All right, as long as everybody's all riled up, let's bring this up, which may or not be related. I think it is. A big story last week was Mayor Rudy Giuliani in New York. Quality of life, that's his big issue. And one of the things he's doing now is zoning every kind of porno place, strip clubs. There's 170 topless bars in New York, all but I think 2 are now going to have to close.
On which street?
Yeah, but some of them are very high class. You know, there's that new trend toward the upscale.
Strippers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a contradiction in terms. Upscale strip joints. There's nothing classy.
Have you been in them?
No. But there's
Would you like
nothing
to go?
classy.
Because
She's overdressed.
it's only good to broke.
I'm overdressed. There's nothing classy about strip joints. It talks about, that goes into what Janeane was talking about oppressing women and objectifying women. It's disgusting.
Well,
I'm glad Mayor Giuliani
they're not.
is doing
There's
this.
not a gun to the women's heads.
Well,
They're
financially, there might be a socioeconomic gun to their head. If you can make more money, if you've got a family to support stripping than you can making minimum wage, if you're not well educated, then you're probably going to turn to stripping. Because there's no shortage of guys that will, stuff money down your pants.
So it's our fault that they turned to stripping. It's men's fault
Who
for
said it's
oppressing.
anybody's fault? It's not.
She said we're oppressing.
It is an oppressive
It's
thing. It's an
disgusting.
objectification. Our culture objectified. There would not be a market for stripping if women weren't objectified. You didn't just create that. Like, I know, let's have women naked.
No.
I bet you they'll go for it eventually. You know what I mean? It's like a... it
There
comes
wouldn't
from
be a
place
market
of
for
lack of
stripping
respect.
if men didn't have penises.
Oh, that's not true. I know a lot of men who aren't into pornography.
That's
With
you. You're the Christian chick.
Hey, wait a minute.
Yeah, you're not into pornography. Women, you don't go to strip clubs.
I don't go to strip clubs, no. But I think New York should be New
But
York.
he worked naked.
No, wait a minute.
Practically.
New York should be New York, right?
Yeah.
Is this about women
No.
again or about New York?
I think it's about freedom.
No, it's
Okay,
also...
let's get out of here.
Wait,
You don't have to go.
It's
Children
about
going to
children.
strip clubs?
No, protecting the children. Because
Protecting the children from strip clubs.
From the weirdos who frequent these places. Because statistics prove, you look at places like Oklahoma City, where they've gotten rid of all the sex-related businesses, and there is a direct correlation between violence against women and children and the availability of this kind of pornography.
I would
Look what
agree.
happened there with
And-
violence.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
No stripping.
I'm not saying there's a relation, but,
No, I
two and
agree.
two.
I agree.
Wait, that's
with
two
her.
different types of violence. I'm talking about, preying on women and preying on
There's no
children.
praying. What is
It is-
praying?
Oh,
It's
What do
a
you think men are
voluntary
gonna
act.
do? Let me ask you something. When men go into these strip joints and testosterone's pouring out their eyeballs, what do you think they're gonna do?
Doesn't come out the eyeballs, darling. Are you happy?
Where is it going to go?
No, if you see women as an object, if you view women as an object all the time, you see them as an object, and in sexual terms, it doesn't build a good foundation for respecting the gender and respecting women as equals or as a friend or
But are we talking about the zoning aspect of it? This just... No, seriously.
Not anymore, apparently.
No, it is. An absolute correlation. There's nothing wrong with making 42nd Street Disneyfied. I don't think it's wrong. I used to live on 46th Street.
Are you
I'm
serious?
glad
You would
Disney's
want
moved
it
in.
that way?
Yes, I do.
But-
when I used to walk home at night to 46th Street, hell yeah, man.
Why-
Now the pimps are all
I
dressed
would
like
rather
Goofy
see the
and
Lion
Pluto.
King on
It didn't-
42nd
It
Street.
didn't
You're
work.
talking freedom of choice. I mean, take away your,
Right.
your
Wait a
freedom.
Freedom.
Your rights.
Freedom.
Our individual liberties are always limited to when they begin to interfere with somebody else's individual liberties.
Right,
And
but you can
and
choose
how
to
does it
go or you don't
interfere?
have to choose.
Because the mere
Objective-
existence
No, I'm
of
going to
these
go with protecting the
places-
children on this one. I'm going to go with her on this one.
But the mere existence of these places increases violence against women and children.
How do you know
can't
that? What
separate
sort
them.
of a preposterous...
Look at the facts. Look at the statistics. Any place that has targeted pornography and sex-related businesses has had a decrease in...
That's not true at all.
Wait a minute.
I bring up Oklahoma City again, even though they had that horrible bombing.
We do have to educate the kids. We have to start young.
This is not
teach
about
the kids
kids.
about...
It is
well,
about kids.
if you're bringing it up,
But listen,
about six.
okay, so these areas
How
of
we're going to
these...
protect the kids, we have to protect them by educating them.
So they can come home and watch humping on
So-
cable.
Okay, wait a minute, though.
All right, I have to take a break, but we'll come back to it. All right, as you mentioned, Larry, we started talking about zoning, but now we're really talking about strip clubs, and several of you mentioned children. What does this have to do with children? Why does everything in America have to do with protecting children? Parents, tell your kids, don't go into strip clubs until you're 18. This is an adult thing, for adults, by adults. It's about freedom.
Well, this zoning regulation isn't getting rid of them. It's just moving them out of the areas where there are going to be children and people who are going to be harmed.
There's children everywhere.
They're right next to schools.
No, they're closing all of them. Because everything...
Right.
No, they are.
But how many strip joints are really, literally 500 feet from a school?
Apparently all but
Well,
two.
in New York, they're not that far.
No, a school or a church, the law is stated such that all but two have to close.
They have to be 500 feet.
Right, and apparently, you know,
That just makes people walk farther to get it, that's all.
And that's fine. People, I mean, I don't agree with this, but people still will be able to go to them. They'll still have access to them.
I think it's a good idea
No.
to look out for children. I do. I think that the adults do have many, many things for themselves. It's not enough for a parent to say, don't go in until you're 18. Well, since when do kids listen to their parents, really, that much? So I don't think it's a bad thing to try and look at. The children, it's all about, to me, it's kind of like when when you see certain things going on in front of you, where a parent is just being a bad parent, like in a public place or something, you're like, oh, man, that kid's going to steal my radio out of my car in like 10 years. Yeah, that's how it's like. So this parent's not doing the right thing.
And you think having a strip club open in New York City is going to get your radio stolen in 10 years?
No.
You see a connection there?
No, in certain ways, I very much oversimplified. I very much oversimplified,
because
but there
it's
is.
not valuing a person or the dignity of that person. So there's a direct connection
But they
between
have a choice to
strip
go there
clubs
or
and
strip or...
But the sentiment behind these strip clubs is that the people up on stage are not people, but objects for our selfish pleasure.
But wait,
and of course
right.
that carries over
but-
into whether or not that sentiment is going to produce crime.
We're talking about the
selfish.
performers and the children at the same time. I mean, children are not going to be allowed in strip joints. They're not going to be allowed to
I
porno
think we should
shop.
talk about a general neighborhood ambiance, like
know,
places where children are
lot of
raised.
hundreds-
But is-
A
it's still
well-being
gonna
for
be
the
a
community.
a neighborhood ambiance in New York?
Yeah, there's a neighborhood. I live in New York.
That is New York.
This is New York.
Plus, you know,
there.
a lot of great people in show business were brought up in strip clubs, like Milton Berle,
Yes.
Steve Allen, Bob
Look about
Fosse.
the era you're speaking of. Everything was different when Milton Berle was born and raised.
Yeah.
And now that was a vaudeville show business strip club.
They were people. They were
They
still
were-
human
they were
beings.
still
And they
people,
stripped down
but
to
it is very
bikini.
naive to think that our world was the same when Milty was,
Yes, we had freedom then.
5. And when,
Yeah, this wasn't a communist
wasn't it?
country back then.
Stuff that they saw at strip clubs, you now can see at the beach. I mean,
But-
the strip clubs
you know,
have gone...
But, you know, women objectify
really far
men,
away.
too. Not all pleasure has to be sort of mutual. There can be selfish pleasures. That's part of freedom, too, is it not?
Right, but read a police blotter. Read a police blotter, get a radio scanner, police scanner. The crimes, women aren't committing physical crimes against men too much. It's not a real danger for a guy to walk home and be a gang of women are going to attack him or something like that.
But the guys who are going to you know, Runway 69 are leaving that club and immediately wanting to attack women. That's your thesis.
No, that is
No,
not
that's-
our
Then why
thesis.
bring it up?
That's
Then
a
what's the
broad
point?
There's no talking
generalization
to you.
to
There's no
invalidate our
talking to you.
point.
I can't
That's
make a
Well, I don't
That's
understand.
not
Can you explain the connection? You said women aren't beating up men. What's
Right.
the connection between men beating up women and going to strip clubs?
Because pornography
The objectification
is addictive.
of women, which is from cradle to grave in this country. It's not just walking in the door of a strip club. It's everything we eat, sleep, and drink in this country, that women are not respected as a general rule. I don't know about you and you, but as a general rule, I'm sorry, I just went this way. And I didn't, in my peripheral vision, I didn't.
You see, you
reach
talk
over.
about respect.
Can I ask you one
I totally dissed him.
Let me ask you, you know, there's a very old joke about a teacher giving a classroom an assignment about the elephant. You're supposed to draw an elephant, you're supposed to write an elephant. The Jewish kid wrote, the Jew and the elephant question. Everything we talk about now seems to be coming to the women aspect, the woman's aspect of it, the demeaning of women.
Well, it's because we're talking about pornography.
Well, what were we talking about before? We were talking about,
yeah.
We're talking about it because it's the topic at hand. It's the topic
Sharon
at hand.
Stone's joke. Yeah.
What happened
I object to Sharon Stone till he dies.
We can't object to Sharon Stone's joke, but you can object to strip clubs.
I object to Sharon Stone's joke.
Oh.
I don't think it's right for anyone, male or female, to be bashing one another.
Wait a minute. I think we're getting way too sensitive. I mean, way too sensitive. I mean, you know, it's like me saying, oh, I can call myself a fag, but nobody else can. You know, if you're straight.
You're a fag.
I'm a fag. Okay. But, you know, it's just, but, you know, big deal. You know, it's like, lighten up.
Lighten up.
I mean, it's just like,
Okay. We have to take a commercial. We will be returning.
Join us tomorrow when our guests will be Dennis Miller, Eric Idle, Jeff Greenfield, and Ariana Huffington.
All right, in a little time, let me ask about the big Supreme Court ruling today. A guy in an oil rig was being teased and harassed by other men, but they weren't really gay. They were just being idiots. Can you really have sexual harassment if people are just acting creepy?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. And because today
But you
we
mean
tolerate.
same-sex, right?
It's same-sex.
Same-sex sexual
They
harassment.
did creepy.
either-
What was creepy?
Today we tolerate that
very
stuff
creepy.
on television.
Were they doing things with
Sexual
oil
harassment
bits
is
and
tolerated.
drills?
what kind of tools were they using?
They like, you know, drag their penis over his head. But as a joke. I'm not kidding.
Some guys just can't take a joke.
Right.
Yay! Like they all sit around
You
the
drag your
geography
penis over a woman's head.
You're watching ABC.